What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Two great fights on tap tonight. One on the East Coast, the other on the West Coast. I'm going to talk about the fight on the West Coast first. Featuring two champions at 130 pounds. WBO Super Featherweight Champion Shakur Stevenson with a record of 17 wins, no losses, 9 KOs, taking on WBC Super Featherweight Champion Oscar Valdez with a record of 30 wins, no losses, 23 KOs. Not only will the WBO and WBC titles be on the line, but the Ring Magazine title will also be on the line. So the winner of this fight will be the unquestioned top dog in the super featherweight division. We will see what happens and we will see what transpires. Let me get this out the way first of all. Top Rank Boxing, I got to give y'all a quick salute for scheduling this fight in the same location of the 2022 NFL Draft. This fight will be on ESPN, which has been showing the NFL Draft for the last 3 days. So smart move by the big wigs at Top Rank. They follow the same playbook that they follow every year when they put on a boxing card right after the Heisman Trophy ceremony. So we will see what happens. We will see what transpires. But great night of boxing. Can't wait. Getting ready to head out to Twin Peaks where they have multiple TVs. And I'll be able to watch the card on DAZN and the card on ESPN. Now, Eddie Hearn came out here a couple of days ago and said that they will make sure that they put the main event on before the main event for ESPN, featuring two champions again, Valdez versus Stevenson. Now on the zone card, you got history in the making. You got two female champions. Number 1 pound-for-pound fighter, Katie Taylor, taking on number 3 pound-for-pound fighter, Amanda Serrano. That fight will take place in the Mecca of boxing, MSG, Madison Square Garden. So we got to fight at MSG and we got to fight at MGM. So it's all about making that money. That what MSG ought to stand for tonight. Money, strong gate. They're going to have a strong gate in New York City. MGM ought to stand for money, getting money. You know, you got people that's already got money, and Stevenson and Valdez getting more money. I don't know what the purses is for both fighters, but I would have to assume that this is the biggest purse that both fighters will make to date. Now, I don't know. Now, Valdez probably made some good money fighting Miguel Burchell. In that fight, though, he ended that fight with a looping right hand. He's a guy that I call a hook artist. He throws great hooks to the body, great body puncher. But the problem with that is when you fight a guy that's a straight, accurate puncher, and Shakur Stevenson, his shots are going to land first before you land those looping shots. He's throwing straight, accurate shots. He has a radar left hand. Out of the southpaw stance, he does a good job of jabbing to the body. He knows how to control distance. He's a good inside fighter. He can be close, right up on you. You won't even land nothing on him. That's what makes it so frustrating. He makes guys get frustrated mentally more than physically because he's right there in the pocket with them and they're not able to land shots on a consistent basis. And that'll be the puzzle that Oscar Valdez and his team, led by Trainer of the Year, Eddie Reynoso, will need to solve. If they're not able to solve that, he will suffer his first loss of his professional career. Now, Shakur Stevenson has more tools in the toolbox. Make no mistake about it. This fight is all about Shakur Stevenson. He comes in there focused, and he comes in there ready to take care of business. He should win this fight, no problem. Now, Oscar Valdez's only chance is to swarm Shakur Stevenson, because Shakur Stevenson is used to fighting at a certain pace. If you fight at his pace, you're going to get beat, and you're going to get beat soundly. So you got to change that style of pace that he likes to fight at. He likes to fight at a controlled pace. He likes to throw his punches off. He don't like to waste no punches. He don't like to just throw a punch just to throw a punch. You got fighters out there throwing punches, and they really ain't got no method to the madness. That ain't the case with Shakur Stevenson. He's got a lot of method, and he's got a lot of madness that he brings to his opponent. That's why, in my opinion, after this fight, he definitely will be a top pound-for-pound fighter, but in my opinion, he's already a top pound-for-pound fighter. Just based on the eye test. He don't have a resume to back that up. I'm just talking about pure skill set. He's definitely one of the best fighters in the world. He'll be looking to put that on display tonight at MGM Grand Arena. We will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But Oscar Valdez would need to swarm Shakur Stevenson. Kind of like what Jesus Chavez did in the Floyd Mayweather fight. He swarmed Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather wasn't used to fight at that pace. He jumped on Floyd Mayweather, and he probably threw 100 punches per round. And he was able to do a lot of good things early on in that fight. But again, Floyd Mayweather Jr., just like Shakur Stevenson, IQ is so high inside that square circle. He was able to make the adjustment, and ultimately he was able to stop Jesus Chavez. I believe that in the 10th round, I think they stopped that fight in the 10th round. He got a TKO. But I got to tell you, though, that was a great fight, very entertaining fight. I didn't give Jesus Chavez much of a chance going into that fight, but he surprised me as he was able to jump on Floyd Mayweather Jr. and swarm him, throw a whole lot of punches, and keep Floyd Mayweather Jr. against the ropes. And he was able to win a lot of early rounds. And he had a lot of the HBO commentators and a lot of people that in attendance of that fight saying, well, man, this dude got a chance to maybe pull off this upset. And that's exactly what Oscar Valdez is going to have to implement tonight when he takes on Shakur Stevenson. He's going to have to swarm him and throw a lot of punches, work the body. He's definitely got to get Shakur Stevenson on the ropes. Because if that fight is in the middle of the ring, he's going to get dissected like a frog in a biology class. I'm telling you right now, he's going to get dissected. I'm trying to tell you, he's not going to be able to do anything with Shakur Stevenson in the middle of the ring. Now, in his last fight, Oscar Valdez took on Robson Canseco, who's a pure boxer. A lot of people said Canseco won that fight. Now you going from that fight till now you fighting Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is Robson Canseco on steroids. He's Robson Canseco 2.0. You had a problem with Robson Canseco, you're going to have a whole lot of problems with Shakur Stevenson. Because everything that Canseco presented to you that gave you problems, it's going to be twofold when you're talking about Shakur Stevenson. This guy's going to bring it to you. He's a much overall better boxer than the boxer that you struggled with in your last fight. And he's a guy that, in my opinion, has more power than Canseco. So I'm looking for Shakur Stevenson to win this fight handily. He could win this fight by unanimous decision. I'm going to go out on a limb. I think this is going to be a fight that he's going to be looking to prove a point and showcase his skills and showcase to everybody that he is one of the best fighters in the sport of boxing. So I look for a late stoppage. I'm not saying a knockout, but I think he's going to do a lot of damage to Oscar Valdez, and led by his trainer of the year, Eddie Reynoso. I think they're going to wave that white flag and they're going to stop that fight in round 10. So I'm looking for a 10th round TKO. You gotta love TKO. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm looking for a 10th round TKO win for Shakur Stevenson to become the unified super featherweight champion. I said he need one more belt. He's going to need 2 more belts. You know, you got 2 other belts out there. You got the WBA and IBF titles out there. So he'll still be 2 belts short. I think I said earlier in this video that whoever won this fight would be 1 belt short of undisputed. That's not the case. They're still going to need to collect 2 more belts. Now, you got a lot of big fights at 135 pounds, a weight class above super featherweight. You know, you got the winner of Devin Haney versus George Kambosos. That could be an appealing matchup, which ESPN will probably want to put on. Probably put it on pay-per-view, or at least ESPN Plus. So whoever wins this fight is going to be looking for bigger and better things after this particular matchup tonight. This fight is very, very big, but the winner of this fight will be in prime condition to move up and chase another title at 135 pounds, or maybe stay there. I think Shakur Stevenson actually said he wanted to stay there and collect belts. He wanted to be undisputed, like his protege, Terrence Bud Crawford, who was undisputed at 140 pounds. So he probably has at least 2 more fights at 130 pounds. And again, I said the winner of the winner of Devin Haney and Kambosos. If it is Devin Haney, he's going to have to give Kambosos an immediate rematch. And if he's able to get the win in the rematch, he's going to be in line to take on Vasily Lomachenko. And that's supposed to be a big ESPN pay-per-view fight to take place in the first quarter of 2023. So the winner of this fight, I think, is best bet is to stay at 130 pounds and look to fight the other champions at 130 pounds. That being the IBF champion and the WBA champion. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But let me know who you like in the particular matchup between Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez, again, is going to have to swarm him like Jesus Chavez did Floyd Mayweather Jr. That's his only chance, in my opinion, to get the victory. Because if he comes in there trying to box like he says in his interview that he can't box, he's an underrated boxer, and the first person that make a mistake is going to win the fight, Shakur Stevenson don't make no mistakes. That's the problem. His defense is second to none. Like I said, he can be right there in the pocket and you still can't land on him. He's got a great jab, not only a jab up top, he's got a great jab to the body. Like I say, he has a radar left hand. He's a vicious attack offensive fighter in the ring. So a lot of people got him mixed up. They think, oh, he's a defensive fighter, hard to hit. He's looking to be pretty out there. He's vicious. He's vicious. And he has grown into his man strength. Early on in his career, at 126 pounds and stuff like that, he was considered the Paulie Malignaggi of the featherweight division, but that's no longer the case. He's a very strong puncher. Now, he don't have one-hitter quitter power like a Deontay Wilder. He don't have that type of power, but he has respectable power, and he quickly gains his opponent's respect, who thinking they can come through there, through the front door unannounced and get inside and land big-time shots. They find out real quickly that this guy power is the real deal, and he's got much more power than he's been given credit for. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Let me know your thoughts on who you like in this particular matchup. I like Shakur Stevenson by 10th round TKO. Let me know who you like in this particular matchup, and if you think it's going to be a knockout, give me the round you think the fight ends in. Let me know your thoughts, and we're going to go on to the East Coast. The East Coast, the Big Apple, we got Katie Taylor taking on Amanda Serrano. According to promoter Eddie Hearn, the biggest female boxing match in history. We will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Katie Taylor, in my opinion, lost to Pearson. You know, the judges gave Katie Taylor the win, but I didn't think she won that fight. Now, in the rematch, I thought she won. It was a much better performance from the first fight to the second fight, and I thought they should have ran it back for a third fight, but due to the fact that Pearson got robbed in the first fight, it was like, okay, well, she lost the first fight, she lost the second fight, why are we going to do a third fight? But if the judges would have got it correct in the first fight, they should have had a rubber match right after that third fight. That's neither here nor there. She's a good fighter, but I believe everything she does, Amanda Serrano does better. Now, the only thing you got to worry about with Serrano is she's going up in weight class. Will her power translate as she goes up fighting the naturally bigger lady in Katie Taylor? Now, when they did the face-off, you can see that Katie Taylor is a naturally bigger guy, but I just think that Serrano has the better skill set. And I always go by this cardinal rule in the sport of boxing. A good big man beats a good little man. 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. But in this case, you got a good big lady fighting a great little lady. And when that's the case, I look at it like this. Floyd Mayweather Jr. used to always say this: skills pay the bills. That's why he was able to move up in weight class and still be successful. And I think this is going to be the case tonight. I just think Amanda Serrano brings a better skill set to the table than Katie Taylor. She is a better boxer, and I think she's more of a dog than Katie Taylor. Like I say, Katie Taylor, in my opinion, lost to Pearson. And if you're losing to Pearson, Pearson ain't nowhere close to the level of Amanda Serrano. Serrano is a lady that has got better throughout her career. In my opinion, she's the Bernard Hopkins of female boxing. She started off with a couple of losses, but here lately, she's been the best boxer outside of Clarissa Shields. Make no mistake about it. We will see what happens. We will see what transpires. I don't think it'll be a stoppage, but I think it'll be a clear decision win for Amanda Serrano, and she'll lay her claim as the best female boxer in the sport. So we will see what happens. We will see what transpires. Let me know your thoughts on this particular matchup. Who you like in the Madison Square Garden, the Mecca of boxing? Who you like in that particular matchup? You like Katie Taylor, or do you like Amanda Serrano? There'll be a lot of Puerto Ricans in attendance for that fight, and there'll be a lot of Irish men and Irish women in attendance for that matchup. It should be an electric atmosphere in the Big Apple, just like it should be an electric atmosphere in Sin City between Stevenson versus Valdez. Let me know your thoughts. Follow me on Twitter, JBsports3303. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.